All right. It's the Deadman Stone podcast with your host, Mr. Deadman. With me is SK, and our guest tonight we have Shane and Elliot from what is it? The month of horror squad, right? Is that what
horror month?
Horror month. The horror month squad.
There you go.
The month of horror month.
We're back.
Horror month. Month horror.
We're
Okay.
back.
Yes.
We're here.
All right, guys. This is the Deadman Stone podcast, a show broadcast from a trailer park deep in the heart of Meth County, Texas. All right. We got an exciting show tonight. We can talk about.
No, we don't.
Oh, come on.
SK just likes pouring salt on everything, man. SK, that's salty.
He's salty. You know why? We lost the sponsor.
Yeah, damn it, you're right. Nut Rub didn't. Damn it.
True.
Nut Rub, why did you not do it?
It did not work. We sponsored Ball Wash Nut Rub. We tagged them, and they refuse to recognize. I don't understand this.
They refuse to recognize our fucking genius.
I know, right?
Seriously.
I mean, are you telling me?
Come on. You know they had to know what they were doing when they named it Nut Rub. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were not being subtle about things.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you remember that old fishing commercial called the Wonder Boner?
Wonder boner. The boner.
I do.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it sounds like, but I mean, it's for deboning fish, but they call it the Wonder Boner.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Absolutely.
maybe we went too hard on the jokes. Is that what it is? Maybe we thought we were laughing at them, not with them.
Oh, that might be it. I mean,
Come
that could
on.
be it. I mean,
Okay, well, let's try one last time. Look on the screen right now is Ball Wash, okay? This show may or may not be sponsored by them. A fine cologne that works as hard as you do. It's TSA approved, so when you apply it, when you go to the airport,
You're not hard.
I just glossed over that one.
pat down, and they appreciate the nice fragrance.
So the next time you're at the airport and TSA wants to pat you down like they always do, those fucking perverts, go ahead and smell it. Tell them, go ahead and smell it. It's Nut Rub. It's TSA approved. You're gonna like it. You see what they say. Made in the USA. They're not sponsoring any commies with this product. So look at that. So go ahead and go over to Ball Wash and buy yourself one. And let them know Deadman's Tome sent you. We'll see what happens there. Oh, man. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I want to say tonight, the only real announcement I have is for Patreons, the patreon.com/deadmanstone. If you want to get me drunk tonight, I'll be taking a shot of whiskey for every $5 new patron. Okay. The other thing I could do, if you don't want to become a patron, maybe a $5 super chat or $5 donation. You know, if you do that, I'll be taking a shot for each one. SK doesn't have to, but it's me. It's all right.
Yeah, I've been overloading on root beer tonight, so I'm watch out.
Look at that.
Ooh.
All right.
You know, it's funny that he's announcing this, Shane. He did not pay attention to the type of person I am on the last podcast, did he?
I never do.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you, Salty McSaltus, and I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mr. Deadman there.
All right.
Like I live to mess with my boys on streams and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Oh, is that true?
You give me an opening, odds are I might take advantage of it.
Okay. Well, there you go. So, yeah.
And speaking of openings, we have a sponsor called Ball Wash.
All right, guys. All right. So tonight we'll be talking about horror monsters. Also, going into Texas versus Florida and having a bunch of fun tonight. So, the horror monsters, though. I mean, from what Stephen King's It, from Lovecraft's Cthulhu to like what you got.
Victorian.
Would you Wait, would you consider Jason Voorhees? Would he be a monster, or is he just a villain?
Yeah, dude, of course.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's in some respects, he's supernatural. Definitely.
I mean, according to, they haven't. Well, I mean, I think they've tried to canonize it. They made him a Deadite, like from the Evil Dead series.
Oh, which, by the way, I've been watching that. That's with the Stars series.
Yeah.
Man, that stuff was fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, Bruce Campbell is the man.
he is, man. He can do all sorts of stuff. Fucking badass.
He
So-
is.
All right. So tonight I want to ask you guys, what makes a good horror monster?
If it can
Shane, you want-
scare you, yeah, man. If it can scare you without even being there, that's a
So
good sign.
Thought.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a good point. That's a good point. I like that point. And the probably the canonical version of that, Jaws.
Yes. That is exactly a really good point on that, because the whole aspect. I mean, you didn't even see the shark till like halfway through the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it was only the music and maybe a little bit of a fin that you got to see, and it totally like messed with you from that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only
Which, by
that-
the way, was not done intentionally.
Yeah, it wasn't. The shark kept messing up.
Yeah. It kept sinking. They couldn't fucking film it.
Bruce,
But it worked out.
Bruce was a diva, and it's like, y'all haven't brought me what I need. I'm not working today.
yeah. Oh man. But what's great about that example is that's one right there with that monster that stuck with you. That's something. I don't know about you, but after watching Jaws,
With everybody. I mean, there are people who are still won't swim in the ocean. Hell, there's people who won't swim in pools.
dude.
It's
I
so
watched
funny
Jaws.
you say that, because I have actually heard that before, that there are people that are scared to death to go swimming in a pool by themselves at night because of Jaws. It's like it put that anxiety, fear in their head, and they can't shake it. They're like, I can't take the chance that someone didn't dump a great white in my pool when I wasn't looking.
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
scared to go swimming in the day because the sun.
Oh well, that's like a vampire thing.
That's a different
Yeah.
thing.
It's,
Well, I mean, no, it's funny you actually bring up Jaws and great whites. I don't know if y'all heard, earlier this year they actually caught a great white down in Florida.
Oh, really?
Off a pier. Yeah, in Navarre, Florida, they actually caught a 10 to 12 foot great white shark.
Wow.
So so they're coming up here in the warmer waters for some reason now.
Wow, look at that. What we don't need, sharks coming up this way. And you know what? And surfers will tell you that sharks are just fine. You don't have to worry about them.
Man, till they get missed, till
Well,
they start
you
missing
do.
a leg.
Yeah, right? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they all say that until that surfer that decides to use the baby seal swimsuit.
Mhm.
Now, what about...
Well,
Oh.
and sharks will get you in waist deep water.
Waist deep, they'll get you in knee, or they'll even get
Yeah.
you in knee deep water.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Because I tell myself, my feet are just in the water. How bad can this be?
Oh, well, I've seen videos of. There's a video of a guy in Florida, in Australia, who was working on a TV show about sharks, and he
And they
got
were-
his calf
yeah.
chewed off while they
Yeah.
were filming.
Yep, they were standing literally in knee deep water.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. Can you imagine that? That would ruin your fucking day right there. I mean, what do you do, man? Yeah, my calf got bit off by a shark. Okay,
Yeah, well, my day's fucked. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
God.
you guys said I had nothing to worry about. You guys said you're more likely to die in an auto accident, like this. Those stupid
Well, he didn't
statistic
die.
nerds. They'll be like, oh, I guess so.
He didn't
He
die.
didn't die,
Just,
but he
it's
got
just,
hurt.
bicycling's a little bit more of a bitch for him now.
Kind of walks in a bit of a circle.
Seriously. But,
Oh,
but I mean,
man.
yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it's, I mean, you know, but technically, I mean, we can't necessarily. I mean, I guess you would say we can't classify them as monsters per se because they're just doing what they're naturally made to do.
True.
I mean,
but-
technically, a monster is subjective, especially in the world of predator and prey.
You know, that's a good point. So
an
actually, with that,
intention?
with that said, would Jaws actually be a monster then? Is he?
A monster to you?
Yeah, he'd be a monster to us, like how a cat is a monster to a canary.
Yeah. So wait, with that same logic, what about a xenomorph?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
monster.
sure.
No, that's just full on monster. That's all that is. I mean, stop and think about this. I mean, literally, the thing's existence, it's for in order for, I mean, through its life cycle, it literally has to violate its host. I mean, technically, or they know technically, it literally rapes you to implant for its next stage of life.
Oh,
I mean,
that's just
literally
called
the
mating out in the wild. I mean, I don't know if you have animals, if you ever have pets, but that's just called mating.
Dun dun dun.
But I
Sorry.
mean, you know,
I should probably clarify what I meant by that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was gonna
okay.
say, you know,
When I was a kid,
I'm gonna step back from that one and
That's
have
it,
that
that's
one.
it,
Go
that's
right
it.
ahead.
Yeah, no, it's real fast.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had these
You
these
do
cats. These cats, right? They're they're both male. They would constantly rape each other. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You couldn't stop them. They're constant. Horrible stuff. Horrible stuff. You couldn't even separate them. Horrible stuff.
Wow.
It's funny you mentioned cats. Our friend Shane actually cannot stand cats.
I like some cats, but there's definitely some cats, man. Dude, they got those claws, and they don't care.
They don't
They
care.
will screw you up, and that's, man, it's terrifying.
They're
And
Satan.
it hurts.
They are the product of the devil. Like each
Puppy
and every
won't do
cat
that
has
to
like
you.
the soul of a demon in it. I'm
Wild
convinced of that.
cats are interesting, but house cats are not.
I'd rather have a wild cat than a house cat. House cats are fucking bitches. I swear, man. They're so annoying. I mean, am I the only one? Oh my god, am I pissing anyone off in the chat? Are you cat people? Okay.
Donate some money and leave if you're a cat person.
You know, horror has. You know what? Actually, I'm trying to think of some cat monsters in horror movies, and I mean, not really.
Stephen King's Nightwalkers.
Oh, there you go.
Or Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
Pet Cemetery, Church.
Yeah. He's kind of
Pet
more
Sematary.
of a. He's kind of more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess he call him a monster. Yeah. He's there. Yeah. All right. But cats are also used. I know in one. What is it? What's this guy? He's like a. Anubis. I don't know if you know what this monster
Anubis?
is. Anubis.
Anubis is actually
Anubis.
a dog.
Well,
Anubis is a dog. Egyptian. He's like the
Head of a
the ones
dog,
that,
right?
Yeah, he has the head of a dog. He walks the dead to
Mhm.
the place where they're judged.
yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw the movie. I think it was called like Pyramid or something. I think. I don't know. It's some horrible.
Did it have sharks in it?
No, but it had cats. It had cats that worn off.
Catnado.
Anubis was scared of cats.
Well, cats were the keepers of the underworld.
That makes sense.
It does.
Kind of makes more sense now.
I just like that Shane just chimes in. Makes sense.
Yeah. But it's crazy though when you see it because it's like the 7-foot tall CG monster that's scared of a little kitty cat. Oh god! You know, it's like pathetic.
You talking about the mummy? That's what you talking about.
Oh,
What I
that's
got.
man.
Well, the mummy's just afraid of being unraveled by a cat.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the mummy to the cat just looks like a big walking ball of yarn.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
That's
and
funny.
so when it comes to monsters, what about origin?
Origins?
Yeah. Is it
Well,
how important is it to have a good origin?
Very.
very. I mean, honestly, if it, if you don't have, a story as to why, I mean, that's where I guess you would say something like Jaws would not necessarily fall under the complete category of horror monster, because it's more of a subjective point of view versus what it really is.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, because we view something that can eat us as a monster, but it's not inherently evil. It's just doing what it's it was
Like
natural.
if you don't go in the water, it doesn't care about you.
Yeah, don't get too craps about you. But but I mean, I mean,
Until you get to Jaws
every
3.
iconic monster does. Until you get to Jaws 3, then it'll just bust through stuff to get at you.
Yeah.
But and then on Jaws 4, it's just personal.
Yeah.
This time it's personal.
This time it's personal. But sorry, I couldn't resist.
No,
but,
that's good.
But no, I mean, just to give you an example, like Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that entire story, a lot. Nowadays, people that don't read books, and it's kind of sad that they don't really read and grasp the concept, because they still see Frankenstein's monster as the evil being of the story, and that wasn't the case at all.
No, it's
the
not.
evil was actually the doctor and the humans that treated him thus such.
That's true.
Yeah, that was the point of the story.
Yeah, I mean, but they still try to brandish him as being like this frightening monster. But I mean, and yeah, he's definitely not natural. I mean, I guess it would honestly, would he follow under the Uncanny Valley kind of type, Shane?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Uncanny Valley. Since we're bringing that up, for those who don't know what that is, do you mind? I mean, I know what it is, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah, you talk about it, Shane. You talk about it, Shane.
It's the Uncanny Valley. Typically refers to something that's more human-like than not. It doesn't have to be something that reminds you of a human being, but generally, it's when something seems like it's mostly intact, I suppose is one way to say it, but there's something about it that's very off. Like zombies are a very good example of that, because obviously they were human, but the way they move is extremely unnatural.
Oh,
and the fact that
the way they smell and look. I mean,
Yeah.
And eat.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you ever eaten someone out? I mean, sorry. Have you ever eaten someone? Oh.
Not their brains.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not without permission, but
But Uncanny Valley.
Sorry.
Okay. So Frankenstein, you'd say he would fit in that
category.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in Frankenstein, to me, he always seemed like the one monster that, like, he's not really intended to be scary. He's more like the one that if you could catch him on a good day, maybe you could just talk to him. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, that is the aspect of it, is that because he's different, we as society will view him as a monster and thus shun him. And because he's done nothing wrong, the true evil is within the society, the societal norms.
Tell you what, if the Frankenstein had a beer in his hand, an extra one, he'd make a friend right real fast. You know what, man? You might look ugly as fuck, but I'll take the other one off you. Oh, that's not for me? Oh, fuck you then.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of the Victorian monsters, are some of my favorites, because I do love Dracula. I do like the Frankenstein story. I love the Wolfman. Jekyll and Hyde, particularly. I mean, and every aspect of it, everyone has a different aspect that makes them terrifying. I mean, yeah, there's something that will kill you, but their motives, most of the time, their motives are very different.
For example, I mean, like
Well, I mean,
You know,
well,
it
one
seems
thing that
like
makes
they like just want to kill people.
yeah. I mean, it's well, I mean, Dracula, of course, he kills to survive, but he also has no qualms damning someone to the life he has, so he's not lonely. So I mean, it's terrifying on the aspect because they're slowly, he slowly like turns someone like he did with Lucy. Because Lucy, that was a very drawn out process, and he would constantly like come and feed on her and feed on her and feed on her, and let her slowly turn, and she would suffer through it. I mean, it was like a sickness, and he didn't mind. I mean, he didn't mind that she was suffering. It didn't bother him one bit. But
He would rather her suffer to be with him than to not, because I always thought that was because of his loneliness, because he didn't want to be lonely.
well, I mean, he does have an aspect of loneliness, but I mean, he wasn't exactly the nicest person before he
No.
became a vampire either.
No.
So I mean, he clearly like has psychopathic tendencies. before he was ever a damned monster.
Mm-hmm.
But and like with in an aspect with like Jekyll and Hyde, I mean that's both victim and that's a slash of victim and villain. I mean they're almost on the same level as the Wolfman.
That's a good
But
point.
with Jekyll, I mean they're almost on the same side of the Wolfman, except Jekyll and Hyde technically, a lot of people say, well, it's just his dark side. Well, it might be his dark side, but it's a side of him that is not him.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that is completely different. It is a completely, different person. And there's, a lot of people argue, well, it's a split personality. No, there was a physical change to it too. Like different, he had different fingerprints, different eye color, different body structure.
Hmm.
So
That's
I
right.
mean, it's and there have been different variations of that story as well, where they've touched on whether who was truly evil? Was Mr. Hyde evil because of the shit that he did? Well, I mean, yeah, he definitely wasn't nice.
Mm-hmm.
But Jekyll a lot of times would drink the potion. He couldn't resist drinking the potion and letting him out, knowing what he would do.
Yeah. That's right. I'm thinking, how much does scenery play in to making the monster? Like, let's say Jaws, right? It's water. It's
Geography.
yeah.
The geography. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, certain. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that too. Here, Shane, why don't you jump in here? I'm rambling.
You're good at it.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, because I'm thinking, imagine like
Now the claws come out.
because
Okay.
there's certain settings where a monster wouldn't really work. Like, let's say like Jason Voorhees. He probably wouldn't. He wouldn't work in broad daylight on a beach, right? Would he?
Not really. I mean,
Probably.
they tried putting him in New York, and they couldn't even keep him in there for like they couldn't even keep him in there a full hour.
In an
So-
hour, he would probably take out a whole block.
Every predator
that's
has
the whole
their
thing about it.
favorite hunting grounds and
Yeah.
and styles.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, Jason. I mean, there are times where Jason, does kill in broad daylight. But the thing about it, the way they work it, is you never really saw him. Like you only saw like his hands and the weapon,
Mm-hmm.
or with his mother, Mrs. Voorhees, you only saw her hands and the weapon and the victim being killed.
Oh yeah, that's because they were like, that one I really like because they were trying to make it like who's the killer? You don't know. Is
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what they were trying to do with the first one. But I mean, but after that, like I said, they didn't really show too much. And then eventually, they're like, why hide Jason? Everybody knows it's Jason now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it wasn't necessarily scary anymore. I mean, I don't want to say Jason was terrifying because I mean he really wasn't. but after a certain point. But I guess you would say, instead of making him horrifying, they made him more menacing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
What about urban legend monsters?
Slenderman.
Ooh, like the Skinwalkers
Yeah.
and Wendigos?
Mothman, Thin Man.
Dingos. Mothman, huh?
You talking about monsters of superstition and
Yeah.
okay. Well, in the terms of Mothman, from what I've gathered from it, Mothman it's kind of like the aspect of advanced intelligence. It's an advanced being, and the reason why it's so terrifying to us is because it's like how we're more advanced than ants, but do we ever stop to try and explain our existence to them?
I mean, ants are pretty organized, man.
So the Mothman is really fat, really intelligent. I guess don't know
Well,
much about
the Mothman the Mothman is said to be a precursor to a bad event, like it's a warning signal.
Mhm.
It shows up before
he doesn't do the thing, right?
He doesn't do it. He's like a precursor warning saying something's coming. But because he is so terrifying, nobody's paying attention to the warning. They're paying attention to the monster itself, or what's looks like a monster in front of them that scared the living shit out of them. They're not paying attention to the fact that it's a precursor monster trying to say, "Hey, guess what? Something bad's coming."
Okay.
Because every time that in history that Mothman has been cited, it was always a precursor to a tragedy.
It's interesting. So the Mothman, he's not really. So he's just he's like an omen, like a bad omen, like something's gonna happen.
He's like, he's a sign. Like he's a sign that if you see him, you know that something bad's about to happen, like around the area you are, or it's about to happen to you. And he's not necessarily the cause of it. He's just more of a warning sign.
Like your girlfriend might break up with you because she's hanging out with Mothman.
Yeah. That's what, shit. Fuck yeah.
She likes
that Mothman right there.
She likes bird person.
Oh
It's
man.
The wings.
Sorry.
No, but it's
throw a
interesting
Rick and Morty
because
joke in there.
I think with these urban legend monsters, you get this element of fear of what it is you don't really know for certain. But when it comes to like fiction and like in books or and of course in movies, it's like they have to put the element of fear of like, what does it do? Is it hurting people? Is it attacking people? Of course it is, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Sometimes, usually, I suppose.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to be.
I mean, like in the aspects of a Wendigo, like somebody mentioned that earlier. A Wendigo is both, a monster as well as a superstitious warning. Because, the myth is that a Wendigo is created by cannibalism. Like people being abandoned out in the middle of nowhere and have no food, and then you end up you get so hungry you end up killing one of your own people just to eat them, and from that you become like a cursed soul.
Oh wow.
I mean and that's just one variation. I mean, I'm sure there's different other types of descriptions on how to, on where the Wendigo is, but it's essentially it's the Wendigo is like I said, it's a warning to don't do this. This is what you're going to become.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but a Wendigo's also been used in different variations throughout culture, like Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. The Wendigo's the creature that resurrects the people from the from the burial grounds, and causes them to be evil.
Well, that's not helpful.
In that book, Pet Cemetery, I mean, I was rereading it the other day. I was like, man, that neighbor was part of the problem. He was like, oh yeah, don't use the pet cemetery. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and tell you to go ahead and use the pet cemetery because I told you not to. It's like, come on, man. I was just thinking about that. But get back to.
Well, I mean, it's almost like a drug. I mean,
Making mistakes.
I forget the. Yeah, I mean, it's literally like a drug, because I forget the neighbor's name. And it makes me mad because I love the guy. I love Herman Munster that played him in the original movie.
Right.
But he describes how somehow the cemetery or the Wendigo affects things in the general area, like the truck drivers in that area. They all start speeding within the general vicinity of where the cemetery is, because the cemetery is trying to kill somebody or get someone to die, so it can be they'll be planted in the burial grounds.
Yeah, there is that draw to it.
And it becomes like, and like I say, a little
stupid cemetery. Just because they die there doesn't mean they'll get buried there.
The reason why they turn bad, I didn't get them buried in time. Like, if I get them buried quicker, they won't come back evil.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did say it in the book. He's like, maybe you do it sooner, maybe it'll have a different result. It's just weird because at the beginning of the book, he was warning everybody, actually warning him in particular, like, don't do this, it's bad. Even had a huge thing, went through the whole thing, but it's like, oh, well, let's go ahead and use it anyway. It's like Stephen King, like, your guy just said don't do it, but now he's like,
about the daughter.
But
he cared about the daughter. He cared about the Creed's daughter.
Yeah.
And he really didn't want to see her heartbroken, but he had experience with it because he himself buried his dog when he was younger, and then went and buried his wife. But it's literally, like I say, it's like a drug, and sometimes you learn from it, and sometimes you don't.
That's
and
right.
with the Creeds, the dad couldn't learn. He was amazed that church got brought back, but then he lost Gage, and he couldn't take that. And then and like I say, it's just it's literally like an addiction, and it the cemetery itself, or the Wendigo, plays on that emotion and wants you to it'll make sure that it everything plays out in its favor. It's literally like one way to describe it. It's a casino where the odds are always on the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best analogy I guess I could give.
But it works. It works though. Yeah. That's a good segue into what about levels of supernatural when it comes to these horror monsters? How do you feel about that?
Well, Shano, you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. Man, supernatural stuff. I mean, there's always stuff like Silent Hill, for example. I know I talked about it a good bit, but that's right up that alley. I mean, that entire town, and it's a haunted town that manifests like your personal demons and whatnot, or at least in Silent Hill 2 anyway. So, I mean, it's really cool in a way. It's almost like it's kind of trying to help you in a way. It's kind of weird. I mean, it manifests whatever is going on like in your heart and mind. So, I mean, if you've got the baggage, then it's going to manifest that physically, and you got to learn how to either deal with it or not. If you can eventually accept what you've done, if you can figure out what's going on inside your head, then you might be able to leave the town alive. But I mean, if you don't, you might die in the town. You might end up killing yourself. It's really interesting stuff. What happens in that little town?
Gotcha.
Also, one of the things about that particular game is that there is a symbolic tormentor or punisher, and
Yes, sir.
I'll let you run with that too, because that's where the supernatural, I guess you would say, punishing starts. Because for this, for James, it was one, but everybody that goes there that has the baggage, as Shane says, they literally are in their own version of hell.
Yeah. So unless they can manage to get their way out of it, yeah. I mean, James had Pyramid Head manifest because of what was going on with him. I mean, spoilers for an about to be 18-year-old game, but I mean,
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
So I have a supernatural question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man a monster?
No, it is
Wait.
a representation of well, actually no, I guess it would be a monster because it's a form taken as a representation of a destructor. And it's delicious. And it's delicious.
It is delicious and tasty.
If it doesn't kill you.
It might kill me in diabetes, but that's okay.
It's a kill you with diabetes or smile smashing you. Either way.
Right.
I'll take both. Maybe I could just, yeah.
And goo.
I'll take that.
Oh, another aspect of supernatural. I mean, what other variation were you talking about?
Well, I was really kind of going, like, what do you prefer? Like, how supernatural? Because, of course, there's some monsters where it's like, I guess, like aliens, and there's some, I guess, monsters that are like, they're like demons from hell, or they possess someone, like in The Exorcist, Pazuzu,
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
Yeah, Pazuzu, yeah. Well, I mean, there's an entire subject on demonology, where like they're all different types of different demons. No, it's funny you mentioned that. Did you ever watch that video I sent you?
I was trying to watch it today, but it wouldn't load right. It kept on. I was trying to watch it on my mobile phone. It was on Twitter. It wasn't.
I mean, it's a YouTube paranormal investigator. I can't think of his name off the top of my head because honestly, I just recently found him. But he has
Steve.
Steve, yes. Actually, no. Actually, I think that is his name.
Steve Longmore.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I really
Steve Longmore Johnson.
I really think his name is Steve, though. That's funny,
Damn
though.
it!
But
it wasn't supposed to be.
But he has a certain section where he'll buy items off the internet, like off a dark web,
like used panties,
or he'll buy supernatural items, and he ended up buying a Dybbuk box. And for those that don't know, a Dybbuk box is it's a old Hebrew tradition or old Hebrew tradition of locking demons away. I mean, it literally becomes like a Ghostbusters trap.
Huh?
Really?
So Ghostbusters stole that from
From the Jews.
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh? But okay, look at that.
I mean, literally, like the video like the first video shows him opening the box. I mean, he literally is doing tests on. He does an EMF meter. He shows underneath the table. There's nothing there. You get like 2 points of view. You get like his point of view and the camera that's in front of him, and he shows like all around him that there's nothing that would make that EMF meter go off. And then he opens the box, and literally, like the moment when he opens the box, the EMF stops.
Explain that one, SK. Case closed. Demons exist.
Well, no, I mean, and then literally, like, I don't know how long it took place because he looked inside the box and there was like this really wicked crystal in it, and then all of a sudden,
crystal meth.
Probably.
No, it was a stripper named Crystal.
Ah, okay.
With a K.
Yeah.
But no, he had like 100,000 YouTube subscriber plaque on the wall, and it literally started moving. And he's just sitting there like watching it, and he's like, "Look, guys, the AC's not on. This it's moving by itself." And all of a sudden, the plaque just came off the wall, and he just said, "Yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here." and then he came back the next day, put the plaque up, And then, the next video he shot was the disturbances all throughout the time, all throughout, since he opened that box. And he would have doors like open and close by themselves, and he literally got it on camera. Lights that would turn themselves back on that he didn't turn on. His dog ended up getting like this swollen face. They said was a bee sting, but there was no bees found. And I guess you would say the creme de la creme that eventually, where he finally said, "Fuck this, I'm done, I'm out of here." Is he woke up and said, "There's been banging going on downstairs." He went downstairs in his kitchen. The cabinet doors were all wide open. And he started he says, "All right, I'm about to turn the light on." Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this wine glass just went flying towards him. He goes, "Yep, that's it. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm gone. Like, fuck this. I'm done." He goes upstairs. He says, I'm leaving the camera on." And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, his Alexa goes, "Oh, a love song. I'll sing it." And I kid you not, it starts singing at him. And one of the phrases is "I'll be right here."
All right. All right. So let me ask you. What is your favorite horror monster?
My favorite?
Yeah. I know it's kind of
Alien or Supernatural? No, Alien or Supernatural.
That's the thing. Like, it's hard, huh? It's like, how do I choose? I
mean, they're all. Yeah, I mean, like Lovecraftian type style monsters. I guess I'd have to say would be it, because I mean technically it is a Lovecraftian type monster, but but it also could fall under the category of Alien, which The Thing is also one of my favorites.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's oh man.
So I mean it's really kind of if I had to I guess you would say if I had to center them in three. If I had to pick three monsters, it would probably be It, Stephen King's It, The Thing, and probably I want to say Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay. I like that one. That one's symbolic.
Yeah.
Look at that. Probably going through some demons personally. But you know what?
Not me.
But this isn't a therapy session. What about you, SK?
Predator.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess so. Is that
the first? The first one I would consider more horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he falls under the rubric of a monster, just as much as a shark would.
Just as much of a xenomorph would. In fact, they even become like part of their own thing. So, all right.
Yeah. That I really liked the kind of scary, hairy, spidery guy in the closet on Poltergeist.
Oh, that's cool.
And the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh man, you cheat! I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't think any of us were. Those flying monkeys,
really?
man.
You found them funny? Or you're not funny? You found them scary?
Oh, they're fucking.
Well, when
monkeys.
I was
when
5,
you were a kid.
yeah.
When you were a kid. Okay.
If we're gonna go based on that, then I'm afraid of every fucking bird out there because of the birds. God. The birds.
Those flying monkeys. Those are classic monsters, man. That affected every kid growing up, just like the shark affected everybody wanting to stay out of the water.
Apparently, I'm the only one affected by the birds. All these feeding seagulls around the place. Like it's nothing. Oh, let's feed seagulls at the beach, guys. I'm just I'm terrified of it. They come near me. I'm like, get away from me.
My ex was just the same way with birds. Yeah. Didn't want anything to do with them.
Birds and cats. Demonic.
All right, Shano, your turn.
Oh god. Pyramid Head's fantastic. Nemesis from Resident Evil,
Liquor.
and the Creeper from Scooby Doo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, which monsters do you think are the most underrated? Most
Generic
underrated.
zombies.
Zombies?
Generic zombies, yeah.
You think they're underrated?
I mean, I don't think people are scared of them.
Oh,
Like they
They're
should
not
be.
They're not scared like they should be.
yeah. I guess.
I mean, they're
Because,
popular, but I don't think people are scared of them.
Mm.
I mean, well, I think the
I think
reason
everybody
why
thinks
is
that they could get away from them, that they could deal with them.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, I could outrun a
Yeah, but
zombie. Okay. Good luck with that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you can until you finally come around a tight corner and there's a horde waiting for you.
My strategy
Sure.
with that though is to just befriend a bunch of fat people, and like have them be with you, and you just kind of throw them off as a sacrifice.
I
There you
don't know
go.
why I don't know why people in the zombie stories don't just get a Bradley and drive around in that fucker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Nobody's getting in there.
Nope. Or just go upstairs. I mean, I guess zombies somehow manage to walk upstairs. That doesn't make any sense. Aren't their legs supposed to be all like decayed and shit?
Yeah, I've talked about that before.
Have you seen a
Honestly,
grandma walk upstairs? It's horrible. You feel like you're in pain.
If there was a zombie apocalypse, I don't think it would last very long because they're already rotting, like, and they're walking around outside in the sun. Like, their
Mhm.
bodies are just going to deteriorate very quickly.
Hmm.
So just
Well,
hide
not
for a
only
little
that, but the the carnivores of the world are just gonna feast on them to no end, right?
Yep.
There'd be an explosion of cougars and bears and wolves
Going into
Oh,
the
my.
city.
eating them all up.
Hmm.
And then a new variation of and mutation of those animals.
Possibly.
Zombie bears. You think a zombie bear is gonna be mauled by a bunch of human zombies? Fuck that. The zombie bear is gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh.
How far down the food chain would it go?
Tall man. Phantasm.
Uh,
Underrated.
Phantasm, yeah, the tall man from Phantasm, yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Dr. Proteus from Beyond.
Okay.
H.P. Lovecraft's from Beyond.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you think, SK? Cthulhu.
Oh, that's easy. You just
God,
pulled that one.
everybody knows of him. Everybody knows of him. But you can name just about
Yeah.
any other Lovecraftian monster. People are like, who? What?
Dagon.
Underrated. Mothra.
Well, does that count? I get. Well, is that a?
I don't know. I just threw that out. I don't have any salient arguments either way on that.
Horror monsters. I don't know. Is there a Mothra horror movie? I don't know about that one.
No.
No? Ah, damn it.
No. No. It's just a kaiju movie.
Just kaiju? Damn.
Yeah.
You could have done the chick from The Mist. She's not really a monster. She's more of just a human villain. That's all she is. Though she's not really a monster. You know which one? The one is all like preaching the gospel when everyone's about to die.
Yeah.
Or what was that dude on Event Horizon? Sam Neill.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The doctor,
William.
Dr. Weir. Dr. Weir.
Dr. Weir. Yep.
What about the worst monsters?
Ooh.
Worse. You talking about like just an embarrassment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like poorly thought out and poorly executed.
All the bad guys in Scooby-Doo, man, because they're always just humans.
Just guys in a mask. Battle
Yeah, that's a
drones.
I'll say it.
Scooby-Doo taught us that humans are the real monsters.
The piranha from Piranha 3D.
What about the Zombievers? What about them?
Oh my god!
Actually, no. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There you go.
Oh, but okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. My wife says she's terrified of that. I'm like, that is hilarious. There's
It's a funny
nothing
movie.
terrifying about those.
Well,
Yeah.
That is a hilarious movie.
you wouldn't let those clowns be near your kids, though.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be smart enough to go, okay, that's funny. We're gone.
Yep. Yeah. And waste those motherfuckers so they come near you. See,
What about
Yeah, I was-
the
if-
leprechauns?
if those kids had guns, that movie would have ended within like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they're going and popping noses, you know.
Yep.
Uh,
What would you say, SK? I'm sorry.
The leprechaun movie.
Oh, Leprechaun.
I don't know about that now. I kind of like that. I like Warwick. I like Warwick Davis. I don't know.
Well,
I kinda
yeah.
like that.
He's great.
It's the other people that that are idiots that that don't know how to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, you really don't know how to deal with it. Like one of
Yeah.
my favorite, like I'm not gonna lie, it was probably the stupidest thing, but it was one of the funniest things in that whole movie. Is the way they distracted him is they just went and took shoes and threw them, and he had to like stop and clean them. I'm like, that is so stupid, but that is so funny. But it did give us the iconic, line of all time. Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Oh, man.
So no, I don't know if I could like throw Leprechaun in there because I just
What about vampires? I mean, not for worse, but like,
oh no, hey, honestly, no, hold on. Worse
Those are like-
vampire variation, Twilight.
Those are
well,
like
I was gonna go with Louis from
Yeah.
what'd you call it? Interview with a Vampire. That guy,
Oh, you wanna-
the little emo dude, he didn't want to be a vampire. He's all like, "Oh, I don't want to be a vampire. I feel bad about it." But then you mentioned, yeah, Twilight. That's a good one.
No, he wanted to be a vampire. He just wanted to do it without taking life.
Yeah, well, go suck it. Yeah, go climb
That's
up a tree.
like saying, I want to eat cows, but I want to be a vegetarian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hilarious. But I'm not gonna lie, I love Lestat in that movie. I thought Tom Cruise
Lestat's
was hilarious
great.
as Lestat.
Yes.
Lestat was the shit.
hmm
Especially the scene where he picks up the dead woman, the dead decayed woman, and starts dancing with her. And says, "There's still life in the old lady yet."
Oh man, Tom Cruise, man. Ah, shit. He's good.
Yeah.
All right. What else? For worst, man. Okay, I'm gonna say it. What about like?
Oh, Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes too.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. The old black and white movies. Like
No black and white movies. Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I'm talking about them. I'm thinking about one. What do you think about what's the monster's name? The creature from the Black Lagoon. Is he a good monster or is he
No.
a wasted monster?
No. No.
I feel like they wasted him. They could have done so much more, couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they could. I mean, to be honest with you, I've only seen it once and it hadn't stuck with me. My recent experience with it has actually been the death of Eddie Corcoran in Stephen King's It,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the form Pennywise took to kill Eddie Corcoran.
That's right.
Which I'm not gonna lie, it's terrifying to, sit there and hear that part out because I mean it's
Man, that was great about that book. or about it in general is that like he took the form of various horror monsters. It was playing homage to everything.
Not even just that. I mean, he would also take forms to just royally fuck with someone,
Yeah.
like with Eddie Corcoran, per se. Like Eddie would just happen to be like out sitting along the Derry Canal, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, something seizes his foot, and it was his dead little brother.
Hmm.
And it was like, Eddie, I came to see you, Eddie. and he's and Eddie freaked the fuck out and started running, and I mean he turned tail, hauled ass, he pissed his pants. He's running so freaking fast, he runs into a tree. You almost think he like dislocated his shoulder and knocked him down. And then when he eventually saw it again, it took the form of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
All right.
And one of the ways that they touch on in the book is that what ends up getting a lot of these kids and adults killed is they're sitting there keep telling themselves it's not real. I'm just gonna wake up, and I'm like, no, asshole, it's real. Run. And that because that is like one of the things that made it so terrifying is that it also, it's gonna scare you to death to season the meat, but before it actually starts doing that, like in the form of Pennywise the Clown with kids, it almost gives off like this, I want to say, pheromone to where you want to be around it.
Yeah.
It's like an attractant, like, hey, come here, and you can't help but want to go see what the clown has to offer. Even though everything in the back of your head is saying, run, asshole, that clown is in a sewer.
That's right. Okay, so right now I'm looking at the Facebook Tome, Facebook, Deadman's Tome fan club on Facebook. Jesus Christ, sorry, Deadman's Tome fan club on Facebook. The reason why I'm doing this is because I asked the question, "What is your favorite horror movie or no, favorite horror monster and why?" Actually, several questions. What is your favorite horror monster? Name an underrated monster. Name an overrated monster. And a few people chimed in. Clark Roberts, he said, if I had to pick a favorite monster, I think I'd pick the beauty in the cover, or in this picture. This vampire right here, this vampire lady right here. But it looks like she has a tumor, so he'll pass. So look at that. He'll go with the Wendigo, though. The Wendigo? Am I saying that right? Probably not.
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Isn't that an RV?
I think so.
That's Winnebago, salty.
That is so close. Easy to confuse.
Ryan Wood says, let's see, he goes with zombies. He says his favorite monster is zombies. I know some people say zombies are overrated, but it's also the reason why he says zombies, though, is just because they're immensely exciting and all the time horrifying, because the thought of a zombie apocalypse, seems zombie apocalypse and dead things chasing you and want to eat you. It's okay.
Well, that's not the only thing that makes it terrifying. Because if you stop and think about it, it's not just the zombies that's terrifying. It's also the human survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're put in a position where it's life or death, you can become more monstrous than the zombies could.
Oh yeah, you can. You definitely can. When the chips are down, oh fuck yeah. Let's see.
I mean, like the original Night of the Living Dead, Mr. Hooper. He scum of the earth. When he started worrying about like saving his own life, he was like, screw everyone else. I'm gonna take everybody's means for survival to protect myself. Don't care if y'all get killed.
That's right. That's right. He is. Of course, we see that, of course, in the series The Walking Dead. A lot of the drama stuff that some people say they don't like, it stems off that. Now, and I think that if it was in a real situation, those motherfuckers would have been dead a long time ago. But let's see.
The zombies or the people?
The people.
People. Oh,
they play too many games. The Chupacabra. Ryan Woods adds he thinks the most underrated monster is the Chupacabra. I don't know too much about the Chupacabra.
Go kill her for Mexican. Goat killing quadruped goat killer, or
Yeah.
goat killing quadruped Mexican folklore
It sucks
monster.
the blood from the goats, right? It's like a
Yes.
like a goat
I think
vampire.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
It's like a
overrated
vampire
monster:
dog.
serial killers. So, I guess American Psycho.
What? Hold on. The thing is that serial killers actually, kill
Ex-
people.
Exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one
So
thing.
that's the
What the
problem
supernatural
with-
question? Which do you prefer your monsters to be realistic, or to be otherworldly?
Probably otherworldly.
Honestly, I like a combination of both.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I mean, a combination of both to me is absolutely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elizabeth Hurley.
Okay.
What age is this? Is this
Bedazzled.
post? I was gonna say, is this post Austin Powers or pre Austin Powers?
During Austin Powers, was she still doing
Bedazzled.
Austin
And
Powers?
I think that's not just the title.
Oh.
Oh, excuse me, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. There you go.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, let me add my thoughts on that. Yeah, a combination of both, otherworldly and realistic, in my monsters. I mean, yeah.
Sir.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like the Creeper. You know, from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah. The guy.
I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's not scary." I'm like, "Really?" Like,
It's
did you not
terrifying.
see that scene? Yeah, did you not see the scene where he was standing in front of the scarecrow in the middle of the night? That was a horrifying picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something that looks human, but the closer it gets, you start realizing, wait, this thing's not human.
Uncanny Valley.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you
Uncanny
this.
Valley style. There you go.
Any monster that has to rely on CG, especially like that right there. No. If your monster is so supernatural or so unreal that you have to use CG to make it, forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Come on.
BC, I'm gonna argue with you on that a little bit, just a little bit, and that
Okay.
is that if you don't go that direction, if you don't allow yourself to go that direction, you end up with just more guys in rubber suits, and not every creature in the world who's going to be a monster should even necessarily have legs. Who knows? But as long as we keep forcing them into a anthropomorphic form, then they're always going to be guys in rubber suits of one type or another.
Well, but to me, practical effects, where I'm talking, where, animatronics, I feel the ones that are more effective and actually hold up, because when you look at a CGI monster, unless it is done like unbelievably well,
Mhm.
you can't sit there and put yourself in the situation and going like, oh God, if it touched me, what would it feel like? If it was near me, what would his breath smell like? Because you're sitting there like, it looks fake.
Oh,
Too wrapped
yeah,
up
yeah,
in
yeah.
that.
That pulls you right out of the story. Absolutely.
mhm.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about how crappy the monster looks, then it doesn't matter how you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. And but you know what I was thinking about what you said though. I was thinking, man, the CG monsters, are they even doing away with the legs or anything that would, like? It seems like the CG
No,
monsters
they're just
they
not
make,
creative enough.
they could
They're
actually
still
make with practical effects.
bipeds or
Yeah.
quadrupeds or something. They're actually, I just was rewatching the other day Independence Day, and those aliens weren't, they were kind of not so much, two-legged guys.
What?
They were two-legged. It's just they had like, they were in like,
Dreadlocks.
Yeah, well, they had like these
Weren't their legs kind of
biomechanical
backwards or
suits.
something? Like I don't know.
Yeah, they had like werewolf legs, but with like 2 feet, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
two big toes.
Man. Oh, you know what? We didn't mention the fly. God damn it. We didn't mention the goddamn fly. Come on. That's a good horror monster. The fly?
Yeah, Cronenberg.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Here on the
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like Cronenberg, Jeff Goldblum, absolutely. If you're talking about the one with Vincent Price, no, we're good.
no, yeah, that one could. That one they could.
That just that
take
was.
aside.
I can't believe they made two. I can't believe they made 2 of them.
You don't need
In
to.
the chat, Patty mentions dolls, and I have to agree. Anything with dolls is creepy as fuck.
My wife would agree with that too.
Yeah.
She cannot stand dolls.
Mhm.
Like she's like, it's just their dead lifeless eyes, and and I'll be
Back
the
to the
smart.
valley.
I'll be the smart ass going and put like lights behind them and going, they look alive now. Then I'll have to duck because she'll start throwing something at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I get it.
and there are people out there who love to make dolls that are hyper realistic and talk about Uncanny Valley because
Oh,
that
is
shit is freaky.
Mhm.
Sir.
Yep.
All right, let me finish this. The Deadman Stone fan club, I guess comments here. Wes said favorite Wendigo, sorry, underrated, the Skinwalker. Way fucking overrated and inaccurately portrayed. The tradition and birthed them. What? The zombie. Who the hell hasn't done a zombie apocalypse by now? Okay. But they could do so much more
every
with zombies.
variation.
Yeah. They could do so much more.
Well, I gotta say the Zombieland was actually kind of fun.
Oh, well, that is fun. It's meant to be fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean that was like one of the first satirical, well, not first, excuse me. That was one of the newest, satire of zombies since Return of the Living Dead.
Mhm.
Because Return of the Living Dead was actually more
what about Shaun of the Dead?
satire.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. Yes, Shaun of the Dead. Yes, I love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. And then,
Then there's the Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, that came afterwards. Yeah.
I've never, and I don't know if I could call her a zombie though.
What about Fido?
I know. Oh God.
A zombie as a pet?
Yeah. Ed.
A zombie dog story would be really scary.
Dude, Resident Evil, they have zombie
I mean,
dogs all
they're-
over the
yeah,
place.
dude,
Fuck them.
they're-
Zombie
Yes.
dogs. And
Yeah.
Are the crows zombies
Yes.
too? I don't get it.
Kind of. Some of them are, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
fuck
they're
them too.
carriers for the
Birds,
disease.
cats, dogs. Wow, I must sound like animals.
Alligators, spiders. Oh my.
Oh, dude, in what was it? Outbreak? Resident Evil Outbreak? One of the spin-offs, there was zombie elephants.
Zombie
Yes,
elephants.
It was.
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
That'd be problematic.
They were there.
God, imagine the smell. Oh,
Ugh.
I mean,
They wouldn't be sneaking up on you.
no, not at all. All right, so I think we have some news stories, and we have Texas versus Florida. What do we got going on here?
Texas versus Florida, absolutely.
Okay. All right. What are the news stories? What do we got?
All right. Remember how this goes. I read you a bit of a story, and you have to guess. Is
All
it
right.
Texas or is it Florida?
Amazing.
All right.
Gary's gonna win it, or Garrett's gonna win anyway. So, and he's not even here.
Yeah, he's good at that.
God, Gary. A man was arrested at a Walmart after police say he stuffed a $7 bottle of wine down his pants, chugged the cheap booze in a store bathroom, and then tried to leave the store without paying.
Texas.
Sure, yeah.
Florida.
Florida. God,
Uh,
don't go
And
with me.
I have to object to their characterization of it as being cheap wine. It's $7. Come on, it could be good.
hey, everybody knows Boone's Farm now.
Trader Joe's has some good, inexpensive wines. Some of them are from Italy.
I don't think I have a Trader Joe's
All right.
in this area. But, yeah.
right.
We got Walmarts. Sorry.
A woman says she spent the night in the hospital after swallowing 2 screws, which she says were secretly planted inside a banana she bought from the grocery store. All right, children sniggering at bananas
It's hilarious.
and swallowing.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure. I'm sure
screws.
that's what she was swallowing. Okay.
A lot of iron in that dude's diet or something,
Apparently,
man.
she doesn't know how to get screwed right.
Texas again? Just to go?
Flor-
I don't.
I'm gonna go with Florida.
I don't even know, man.
I'm gonna go with Florida on this one.
Yeah, Florida, sure.
Texas.
Oh yeah. It's 50-50. I just say the course. All right.
All right. Man arrested for stealing ambulance, driving to the Jack in the Box.
Wait, do I know this guy?
Oh,
Maybe.
God.
What's his name?
My.
Oh. Like Mai? Like
Literally,
Asian Mai? Like the Vietnamese dude?
M-Y.
M-Y? Mai? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Know him?
Yeah. Florida.
I'm gonna go Florida.
Florida.
I messed you up again. Texas.
Ah, damn it. So I did know him. Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, he stole an ambulance because he was hungry and wanted to go to Jack in the Box.
Dude, I'll bring it back.
Oh man.
When you get the munchies, you have the munchies. You know, those Jack in the Box munchie meals are kind of good. You ever had those munchie boxes? No? I guess not.
No.
I don't think we have any Jack in the Box around here.
Damn. They're like all over
we
the place
have
over here.
we have a few in Georgia, but not many. They're
Every
mostly
corner.
in like Alabama. They're in Alabama, Tennessee.
Houston has like everything just all over the place. Nope, never had. I am more of a Burger King person. That's Timothy Olsen in the chat. Hey, Timothy Olsen, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
We're playing Texas versus Florida. So if you want to play along with us, you can. SK is going to read a headline
All
and
right.
guess whether or not it's Texas.
Man posed as a police officer to get a discount at McDonald's.
That sounds Florida.
That sounds
Florida.
like Florida. I'm sorry.
Florida.
Yeah, he used a fake badge, tried to get a McDonald's discount.
Where in Florida was this? I gotta know.
Titusville.
By the way, taking shots for $5 donations if you don't mind. Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah. The shot of Jack Daniels right here. All right, this next one.
A man apparently didn't appreciate being told to flush the toilet in another person's home after using it. He allegedly threatened the fellow who complained by threatening to chop him with a machete.
Oh God.
You go either way, but that also sounds kind of Florida.
Yeah, I want to say Florida. Oh no, no, I'm gonna say Texas on this one.
Texas. And yes, Timothy. Oh yeah, I heard the Funimation leaks. They are hilarious. They're fucking hilarious. They're some of the funniest stuff I've heard this month actually. No, sorry. Not the stream.
This was a Florida
Okay.
Woo!
story. So half of you were wrong.
Damn.
All right. A beauty queen is behind bars after she was dethroned by rivals who discovered her criminal record. Caitlyn, whatever, was named Miss something Latina in June, but was stripped of
Texas.
crown last month after her rivals filed suit alleging her undisclosed previous marriage and a probationary sentence disqualified her.
Texas.
Bitches.
Texas. Come on.
Texas.
Latinas in Florida? I guess so.
Cubans.
Cubans?
Come on.
I guess, does it count?
Yes.
I guess it does.
Depends on
Are the votes all in?
Yeah. Texas.
Texas.
Yeah!
All right, one more.
All right.
Such and such county man who investigators say was on the run after casually walking out of a courtroom in the middle of his robbery trial has found himself back in jail. Imagine. Anthony Gearing, 29, was caught by authorities 2 weeks after he fled while waiting for a jury to come back with a verdict in his robbery trial. Surveillance video shows Gearing walking out of the courtroom and getting into a waiting SUV in the parking lot. And he was found guilty and may face additional charges for walking away.
Wait. I know your game, SK. I know what's going on here. It's neither. It's not Florida. It's not Texas.
Connecticut shit.
Yeah, like you did last time. I know your
No.
game.
Yep.
Neither.
Florida.
God damn it. And I got Shane roped into that. Shane, watch out, man. I'm very convincing at times, but then I'm also full of shit, so.
You know, one of these times I'm gonna bring Polish men into the mix because they do some crazy shit too.
Yeah, they do, man. They attack tanks with horses. Is that what they did in World War? That's the story I was told in World War II when the Germans came in with their tanks and shit. They still had cavalry or whatever. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Probably.
I don't know.
Well, Germany was way ahead of most other nations when it came to mechanized warfare.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's the Germans for you.
It took a while. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it's really irrelevant to the show,
Yeah.
but I'll say it anyway.
That's fine. Record it. We're at the end here.
The German tanks were marvels of engineering and technology, and they had better engines and better guns and longer guns.
You're a tank guy.
And
I did not know you were a tank guy.
I know a little bit,
Man.
but the problem is that they took so fucking long to build. You know, they just couldn't crank them out enough because they were such precise instruments.
And the American ones.
Meanwhile,
cheap.
we have these shitty little Sherman tanks that are really bad.
Do they work? Did they get
Really?
the job done?
They get the job done, but we make like 20,000 of these motherfuckers.
The numbers game. Look at that.
Yeah. And so we just overwhelm them.
That's what you do in Command and Conquer. If you're playing any of those RTS games, you just overwhelm. That's all you have to do. Overwhelm your opponent. Yeah. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Timothy said, if we did not hit the Germans when we did, they would have eventually kicked our asses. I wonder if this... If we had not stormed the beaches of Normandy, would things have turned differently? I don't know, man.
The most likely scenario is that there would have been a stalemate at some point on the Eastern Front.
Yeah, because in Russia, they were like...
The Russians pushed them pretty hard, but without us pushing in the West...
Britain might have been fucked.
No. Britain stopped their invasion thoughts. If Germany ever was going to invade, they missed the chance unless they could, hold still, basically hold all the other lines long enough to completely retool.
All right.
And
I got an idea. History podcasts. Because they actually make money.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
as long as we can do it drunk.
Drunk history. Well, that's already taken. Looks like we have to be shooting up meth now. Are doing coke. History on coke. Coca-Cola. You know, I don't know. Just come up with things.
Make it a double.
Make it a double. High history. Man.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
you know, I did not get a single donation or a new patron for the shot thing. Well, I'll just go and take the shot anyway. Because I had,
Oh, really?
yeah.
You might want to look a little closer. Why do you think I said make it a double?
What are you talking about?
You might want to take a little closer look.
Like how close of a look do I need to take? I'm like taking.
Well, however you're notified.
Well,
You got money.
well, it's okay. I see it.
Do you?
But
Do
like
you
I said,
really?
take a double.
All right, 2 shots here. This would be great. Ready? First one.
Ready.
Oh,
Jesus.
mm,
Man, think about the sour milk. Man.
harsh.
Good.
That was harsh.
You had to eat a lot of those sour beans.
Yeah. Just think about that as the whiskey's going down. How good and creamy it was.
Mm-mm. That was harsh. I'd rather do this than those. That being boozled, man. The worst one was sour milk. Sour milk was the worst one.
You know, for one reason is everybody as a kid has gotten into sour milk accidentally.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's something you never want to do twice.
No.
Nope.
But let me tell you, that whole thing is so bad. Even the good flavors started tasting bad afterwards. Like,
Yep.
I think halfway through it, and I think you can hear it and see it on my face. Like, I was done. I was like, man, all these flavors are fucking shit. The dog food, all that stuff. Like, God, dog food and chocolate tastes like the same to me, and horrible.
Priceless.
You didn't have any lime sherbet as a palate cleanser in between?
No. You know what? I need to start thinking about the next bonus episode. I don't know what to do for the next bonus episode. My what?
Nut rub.
Nut rub? Demonstrate nut rub on YouTube.
Let's talk about Revive, sponsored by the Umbrella Corporation.
Ooh.
You know, if there's YouTube videos of vaginal births, then maybe I could do a nut rub. Maybe I can. I don't know. I don't know if my patrons want to see that. I don't
Probably
know.
not.
But what? I gotta think about this. I gotta think about what to talk about. Last time I just played a video game with my wife. She was supposed to kick my ass in Kirby's Avalanche, and
Did she?
kind
Did
of
she?
both ways, actually. She kicked my ass, I kicked her ass, and then we played Mortal Kombat and was embarrassing as fuck. Neither one
Mutual
of us.
domestic violence. I love it.
Yep, I caught it the domestic brawl. So there you go. So we'll think of something. Make it spicy. Make it all sorts of spicy.
Spicy, actually. That's
So I remember you doing absinthe one time a long time ago, right?
I still have some. You want to do something with that?
Yeah.
How about fireballs with different variations of hot sauce, like sriracha,
Jesus.
sriracha, and like ghost pepper. Oh, there we go.
Ooh. Fireballs with different hot sauce.
Fireballs
Maybe.
with different variations of
Yeah,
hot
you know, I
sauce.
did the ball eating.
Yeah.
I was going to do the cinnamon challenge, but who wants to see me snort cinnamon? Come on.
I know.
That's
You want to eat something
Seriously.
really disgusting?
Seriously, make it wasabi. Make it interesting.
Snort wasabi?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna sit there and snort something that's gonna cause you pain, at least make it to the maximum. At least make it for maximum enjoyment for my benefit.
Ooh, god damn. Oh, shit. That's oh, my nose is gonna be on fire for a whole weekend. I'm like, oh man. My son's gonna be like,
Yeah.
Dad, why are you picking at your
And,
nose?
and the wife has to be present because the moment you snort it, she has to be there to slap you upside the head to tell you that was stupid.
She told me that the whole time. She thought the ball eating thing was stupid. She's like, how much do those balls cost? You don't want to know. Because they're a specialty item. They're a specialty item, you know?
Yeah.
Can't
There's-
just
Well,
There's
you
a
could do a
there's
hot
a
sauce challenge.
listen. There is a food, and I'm putting a link in the chat to this food called surströmming. And it is considered, they list it as the stinkiest food in the world.
Is that the one where they made it illegal to open the can or something?
Yes,
No, no,
yes.
no, 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 no,
Yes.
no, 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 no.
You cannot in Sweden. I was told it's illegal to open the can above water.
I
the
will
durian
eat.
fruit?
I will eat like a ghost pepper. What's the hottest pepper? What's the hottest pepper? I'll just eat that fucking thing.
Actually, you shouldn't.
Carolina
eat ghost pepper
Reaper?
because I think it's a Reaper, but ghost pepper. I know if you get the juice on your hands and get in your eyes, you will go blind.
Great, Ray Charles.
Perfect.
I don't have any piano skills.
Well,
With the Ray
like I
Charles
said,
of jacking off, then that's what it'll be.
That's what. Well, why do you think I was saying like different variations of hot sauce? Like go to a freaking Bass Pro Shop and just clean it out.
Okay, I can do that.
Because
You know, you seriously.
I mean, we want a little harm, but not like permanent bodily harm.
So hot sauce challenge, I could do that. We could have fun with that. So you said fireballs are different. So wait, I'm actually taking shots of Fireball. Like the Fireball.
I just threw
whiskey, cinnamon
I
whiskey?
just threw Fireball. I just threw Fireball out there. I mean, if you find an alcoholic beverage or a shot that uses uses hot sauce, just do that one.
Cool. All right. I like this. I like that idea.
I mean, I was just
Let's do it, SK. I'll create the promo thing and we can do it next month. We'll find a day.
and I do have to be present. Sorry, I have to be present for this one.
Oh man, let's see what happens. This is gonna be better than the time I drink random stuff.
Have you ever had kimchi? Kimchi?
What the fuck is kimchi?
Kimchi's a Korean
It's fermented
fermented
cabbage.
cabbage. It's Korean.
Yeah.
It's got a nice little spice to it. I mean, they literally bury it
In the
for it to
ground.
ferment in the ground to ferment.
Oh, like what sort of kick? Like an alcoholic kick?
No, like wasabi kick.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, is it good? Does it taste good?
Yeah, as long as it's prepared right.
No, it doesn't.
Dude,
There's a reason why they. There's
I
a
didn't think
reason
so.
for the idiom
SK?
"eat kimchi."
I was gonna say SK. Honestly, your initials are about to stand for salty coot. Okay,
But I like SK for
because you're
that.
ruining my fun, you salty coot.
SK is the grump. He's good on that. But I'm not gonna give too many details out. But we might be getting the third co-host. See, since we lost the female co-host, I need to get another female co-host because that allows us to get all away with mansplaining dick jokes and shit like that. We can do a lot more. And I found someone I think that is cool enough for the show and let us get away with
Okay.
all sorts of stuff. So
All right.
But SK, she's also into
Yeah.
ghosts. Like she's a ghost hunter, 100%.
Awesome.
So
Have her send me one.
demonology, like she's gonna be all about that shit. It'd be great.
Box one up and ship it to me.
She will. She
Cool.
will. But yeah, more about that later. Be kind of.
Yeah, watch it. Watch it. SK's gonna piss her off. She's gonna send him a Dybbuk box and say, "Open it up."
I'll do it.
Let me put it this way: if
Make
this
sure you
works
film
out
it.
well, you guys won't want me to be on the camera. You'll want her to be on the camera. Like, get down.
Oh,
motherfucker.
yes.
Get her on
Oh
the camera.
yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, and get rid of that cartoon chick. We need to see her on the camera.
Yeah, and on the graphics.
And she's cool like that. She's cool. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Hopefully it works out.
That's
Let's see
cool.
what happens. Man,
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much for coming on the show last moment. Man,
Yeah.
we talked
Yeah.
about horror monsters. We shoot the shit a lot about all sorts of stuff. We kind of stemming from that. We talked about Stephen King's It. Talked about what Pet Cemetery.
Okay.
Is that Florida versus
Pyramid
Texas
Head.
versus Florida? Pyramid Head made an appearance. Talked about how cats are instruments of the Satan,
Yes, sir.
servants of the
Yes.
devil. I'm sorry, if you're a cat owner, they're evil, man. They're evil. I'm sorry.
And sharks are monsters.
Sharks are monsters. They are. All the surfer dudes are like, "Hey, man, sharks aren't gonna bite you, man."
And then they get bit.
Yep.
Okay, explain that one.
And we're just gonna sit back. Hey man, the sharks ain't gonna do nothing. We're just sitting there watching as Jaws is just creeping up slowly.
Yep. You know what? Hey, man, sharks might bite me that much, but if they're not gonna bite me at all if I'm not in the water. So I'm not gonna be in the water. That's it. I'm not gonna be in any water, not even the pool.
Unless it's the SNL land shark. Candygram. Candygram.
Oh man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far on the show, press the like button, sub, and subscribe. Man, thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all take it easy.
Great. Woohoo.